Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Karen Marie and this is my channel Made by Karen Marie. It is Sunday today and I'm going to film my September makes for you. This is going to be take two because I filmed this yesterday, but when I came to edit it, it was way too dark. So all the colors of my makes looked weird and all of that. So yeah, I decided to scrap that and start afresh today. It did look a little more put together yesterday. I had washed my hair and like put my face on and all of that. And today I just put my hair up in a bun and I'm wearing my sweater dress. This is the Nina Lee South Bank sweater dress in a very cozy navy blue French terry from Stoff Lykke. So I look a little more scruffy today, but such an indoor day, cozy day that I thought, well, they won't mind anyway. I'm also not using my microphone today because I actually tried to film something for you on Wednesday and then mid-take the microphone cut for some reason. Yeah, but I still hope that you can hear me despite me not using my microphone today. So, all that out of the way, I am going to show you my makes. Just a little note on what I was actually going to film on Wednesday. And that is I received a couple of fabrics in the mail and I thought I would just quickly show them to you and sneak them into my makes video. As some of you may know, if you watch my channel on a regular basis, you will know that I was so lucky as to be chosen to be a part of the wonderful ambassador program that Andrea has recently set up for her shop in the UK. Yeah, but Andrea kindly said that we could have a pattern for free, one pattern from the new Atelier Jupe collection. But yeah, that is the Alexa shirt. It is released now, so I'm allowed to say. The Alexa shirt from Atelier Jupe, and I got that for free. And when I post that make, I will make sure that people know that I got the pattern. The fabrics that arrived, however, I did pay for. But I did get a cheeky little discount from Andrea because of the ambassadorship. So, full disclosure, I paid for them, but I did get a little bit of a discount. So the first one is this beautiful Eco Vero viscose. And this would have been perfect for the Alexa blouse, but when I ordered these fabrics, I didn't know about the new collection. So if I had, I would have ordered more, but I only ordered 1.5 meters in the Alexa. I think in my size, I need 2 meters for that. But it is this really beautiful, like blue background. It's upside down, I think. Blue background and this really vibrant red and pink flowers all over them. Pardon me, I had to sneeze really badly. I still have like remnants of my head cold, so apologies for that. But yeah, it is really gorgeous, and this is going to be a blouse. So even though I can't make the Alexa, I think maybe one of the other Atelier Jupe patterns that I love, such as the Frida or the Emma, is it, with the pin tucks? One of those would be great for this fabric. The other one, and this is my absolute favorite, is this green viscose. And this is Elvelyckan Design, which is a Swedish company. That's upside down too. Let's go for this one. And they have this in, I think, 4 different colors, and I wanted them all. I wanted them all because they're gorgeous. But when I saw this green, I thought, yep, that's it. I'm gonna get that one. I have nothing like this in my wardrobe, and I just think the colors in this are just like gorgeous. So this is more of a true rendition. It's not as bright as when I hold it up to the camera. But I also got 1.5 meters of this. So this is also going to be a blouse. Okay, and now on to my September makes. I made 7 things in September, and I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail on each one, but if you're interested in like one particular pattern or a detail on one of them, please do leave me a comment and I'll try to answer as well as I can. I made 6 pieces of clothing and then 1 accessory. Unfortunately, I can't show you my first make, which is the accessory, because I have already wrapped it. It is a gift for a friend. I have a friend who turns 40 this year, and he is a reader like myself. So I decided to buy him a couple of really fabulous books, and then I made him a book sleeve. I used the tutorial on the Pin Cut Sew YouTube channel. So yeah, I made him a book sleeve and it turned out really cute. And I put a little label on it from Cozy Club Handmade that made it kind of autumnal. So let's get on to the clothes. I will start with the only one that I think is, it's not a fail, but it's my least favorite make of the month. And this, you've already seen it if you follow my channel, because I talked about this make on the Sew Phoenix September challenge that was run by Rachel, French Seams, Sam, So Let's Sparkle with Sam, and Catherine from Surbiton Makery. And they had this wonderful challenge and they had a vlogger tour and I was on it. And I was talking about this, and these are the closet core ginger jeans that I made up in a stretch denim that I got from Rainbow Fabrics when I visited their stall at the Stitch Festival. Yeah, I can't remember which size I made, but I think it was size 16. I've made the gingers before. They fit me quite well, but not perfectly, which is why I kind of wanted to try it again. Unfortunately, it was so long ago that I couldn't remember like what it was that didn't fit, if that makes sense. What I love about the ginger jeans is like mainly the fact that they have these kind of pockets that's so like into the zip. Just that kind of pocket stay thing. I mean, it doesn't hold me in or anything, but it just feels so like good and secure in front of my mum tum, you know. And I absolutely love this kind of pocket. So actually, when I made my Ash jeans in collaboration with Rachel French Seams, I adapted those pockets to have this kind of pocket in my Ash jeans too. Now, for the challenge is to, was to, remake something now that you have an added skills, set of skills. And I mean, these are much better sewn, like quality wise, than my last pair of gingers. However, I made the mistake that I've made so many times before, that I chose a denim that was a little too lightweight and that was way too stretchy. So that is why these are not going to be my favorite. They also, and I think this is due to the fabric, came up much larger than my previous pair. So I think these are mainly going to be the kind of chore pants, for roaming around the house and doing the, dishes and, and all of that kind of thing. Working in the garden or running errands. They don't look very flattering on me, I guess. I'm still going to wear them, but I'm not going to wear them to work, I don't think. So they came up a little bit too big, and usually I have to lower the back pockets on jeans because otherwise they will sit too high up on my behind. But these jeans, I put the pockets on as per the pattern, and they still came up really, really low actually. So I am actually, for the first time ever, I think I'll have to move the pockets up just a little bit. So those are some of the things that I will do on my next pair of gingers. I'm not giving up because I want the gingers to fit. So I just have to keep working on it. But one pair of jeans, done, dusted. So my next make, and this is way more successful, is a sweatshirt. If you follow Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne, you will have seen that she put up a video on her favorite sweatshirt patterns just the other day. And it is definitely sweatshirt season here right now. Up in the mountains, it has already started snowing. Not here yet, thank you. You know, fingers crossed it won't start for quite a while because I'm so not ready. I am, however, ready to start with the sweatshirts. So Tamlin, in her video, she was showing off all her gorgeous Jackson pullovers from Helen's closet. And I have that pattern. I've made it once before, and I made it for my brother because it's a unisex pattern. But I had never made it for myself. And I had this beautiful French terry in my stash that I bought in a sale at Stofflycke earlier this year, but I thought the colors were so autumnal that I wanted to wait until the autumn. So after I had seen Tamlin's video, I went straight into my sewing room, took this out, cut it out, and sewn it up in 2 hours. So it is a very, very quick make, and I put in a little Rosy Cheeks label that says "So Happy" in there. And I absolutely love this sweatshirt. I have now ordered some more French terry from Stofflycke, and one of those fabrics will definitely be another Jackson. I really, really love this one, and I can't believe I haven't made it for myself before now. So thank you, Tamlin. Okay, the next make is also in the sweatshirt category. This is the Page hoodie by Chalk and Notch. I've made these several times before. I love this hoodie pattern. And it comes up really weird on the screen. It is not tomato red. It is more of a strawberry red, I would say. So it's redder than the raspberry, but not like tomato. So yeah, it is a cotton jersey that I got while I was at the Norwegian Stitch Festival early in September. Don't know why I keep pointing, because even though that's the way to the festival, you have no way of knowing that. So I don't know why I keep doing that. Anyway, I got this from a stall called Trådsnella, which means spool of thread. And they had these pre-cuts in the stall, and I got this. I sewed up the size 16 and I lengthened it a lot because I mean the Page hoodie is supposed to be cropped, but it is way too cropped on me. Now I'm not particularly tall. I'm about 5'7" on a good day, between 5'6" and 5'7". But my torso is proportionately longer, so I often have to lengthen things. And I lengthened this by, I would guess, maybe not as much as 10 centimeters, but around there. I put in this little lovely little label from Cozy Club Handmade that says "Made to keep you toasty." In retrospect, I think I should rather have like waited and purchased some viscose jersey in a more appropriate color, or just self-lined it. Because I don't know, maybe it's like vampire goth or something. I feel like the contrast was a little bit too harsh for me. So that's my only regret on this. However, I have used it many times already, and yeah, I really love the Page hoodie. Okay, now for one of my favorites this month. This is the Seasons of East Autumn in London dress. hacked into a shirt. I've done that once before with the Sea Creatures viscose crepe from Fabric Godmother. And I loved that shirt so much that I decided to make it into a slightly less in-your-face material. And so yeah, this is fabric from Fabric Godmother, and it is a cotton shirting with these gorgeous embroidered flowers all over them. I ended up cutting it a little bit silly when I was cutting. So on one side you can see all the flowers ended up on the inner band. I know. That was not intentional, but it just happened to go that way, and I decided to not worry about it and just sew it up anyway. So yeah, but I absolutely love this shirt. I used the Butno button-up shirt pattern from Friday Pattern Company just to kind of measure how long I wanted it to be, and it turned out to be quite long. It goes below the bum in the back, which I quite like. And I wore this for my conference in Germany last week, or the week before, the end of September. And yeah, I wore this when I was giving my speech. So, loving this. And I mean, the color is the perfect color. Then, and this is something very special to me, because when I was at the Norwegian Stitch Festival, yeah, I keep pointing, like, what is wrong with me? I'm sorry. So stupid. Oh my goodness, what is up? So anyway, when I was at the Norwegian Stitch Festival, not pointing this time, I bought, I think, one of the most beautiful fabrics I've ever seen in my life, and it was 100% silk, and it is this one. And it has this like really lovely little pattern in it with the tiniest bit of shine, and it feels like running water. It is just so liquid in its touch that I was like bewitched when I was looking at it. I bought it from a stall called Silkelageret, means silk warehouse. It is based in Oslo. It is dead stock. Anyway, I made the Friday Pattern Company Donny shirt, and I was going to wear this for my conference, but then I just ran out of time. I didn't have time to sew it up before I left. So this was the first thing that I finished once I got back, and I cannot wait to wear it. When it came down to it, I didn't have quite enough to have the under collar in the same fabric. No matter how I tried to piece things, it didn't work out. So yeah, I have like this much left of this fabric. But I had a lining fabric that was very close in color, so I decided to just use that for the under collar, since that is the kind of least visible thing on this make. It was very, very difficult to work with, I will say that. It was my first time sewing with 100% silk, and yeah, I struggled so much to sew this up. I did lengthen this quite a lot. I would say maybe 7 centimeters or more, because the Donny is quite cropped and it comes up really cropped on me. I always lengthen my Donnies with quite a lot of fabric, which is also why I struggle to get it under a meter now. For this make, I also sized up one size. I usually make XL in Friday Pattern Company, but I didn't want to risk this like clinging to any part of me. So I decided to size up to an XXL for this. And I think maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I think it still is a wonderful make, and I can't wait to wear this. I had to unpick quite a few times on this because the fabric kept slipping, even like with my IDT. I have a FAF, so it's like a walking foot, engaged and all of that. And using a seam ripper on silk, that was not too easy, but I think it turned out gorgeous. I did put in a little label, but I'm not going to read it out loud because YouTube will be angry. But I bought this at, I think it was Little Rosy Cheeks. Absolutely love this. And there are more Donnies in my future as well. For the final make, this is the final one, and it's a good one, if I do say so myself. When I was at that same stitch festival, now I'm nodding. Seriously. I bought a silk and wool tweed from the same fabric store that I got that silk at. I kept walking back and forth that store, and in the end I just couldn't leave it there. So I bought 2 meters of this wool and silk tweed. It's brown, and brown is not my color, but I think it is such a cool brown that I can actually get away with it. And normally I will also wear a scarf with it, so it doesn't necessarily go like quite up to my face. And I just love this. This is the fabric. And as you can see, it has these little like flecks of color in them. And I think this is one of the most gorgeous fabrics I've ever seen, like in a coating. And yeah, I just had to have it. And then I did something really mad because I used a pattern that I had never done before, and I cut it straight out without making a twirl. That is not something I would usually do with such a precious fabric because this was not cheap. But I was just desperate to get this ready for autumn, and I used the Burda Easy Wool Coat number 4, I think it's called. And it was from a 2022 issue of the Burda magazine, but now I can't quite remember which one it was. Number 2, number 6. I can't remember now, but I'll put everything in the description box. But yeah, this coat comes in 3 different lengths, and I chose the longer version because I actually could make a whole coat out of 2 meters of fabric, which I thought was really good. The original pattern is unlined, but I would never wear something like this unlined. So what I did was I found this lining in my stash. This is a wool suiting actually, and I bought it to make a pair of trousers for my husband back in the day. But when it arrived, I bought this at Rainbow Fabrics. When it arrived, it was really, really, really thin. So I didn't think that a pair of trousers were really suitable in this fabric, but it works great for lining. I did use the lining. This is the same lining that on the collar on my Donny shirt. I did use a slippery lining for the sleeves, obviously. So what I did was I was considering flat lining this because I'm not very good at drafting a lining and everything for a coat. And then just Hong Kong binding, you know, all the seams inside. That was my first idea. However, I was a little bit worried about how that would work with the facing on the inside and everything. So in the end, I decided to make the outer coat first, tried it on, worked perfectly. And then I made a separate lining using the same pattern pieces as for the outer coat. And then I just, you know, turned it the right way, or the, you know, so wrong sides were together basically. I put the sleeves in and everything, and then I sewed around the outer edges before I put the facing on. Is that the best way to do it? No, it's not. But it was like the easiest way that I could think of right there and then. And I did put in shoulder pads just because I thought that such a pretty heavy coat sort of needs that little bit of stability on the shoulder to kind of keep the shape right. So I put that in between the lining and the outer. And yeah, I had the brilliant idea of making a pocket on the inside because, you know, I thought an inside pocket is a good secure place to keep your phone and everything. And then didn't think that, yeah, that would actually be covered by the facing. So silly things like that. I have stitched the facing inside for like some places just to keep it from flapping open. But I need to kind of hand stitch a few more like things, I think, to keep it really secure. The coat comes with buttons, and I really wanted to have buttons on, but my poor little faff machine could not cope. I tried several times and it was not having it. So I thought that either I will leave it without any buttons, or I will maybe use one of those duffel coat things, you know, closures to keep it closed, or I will just wait until I can get a new sewing machine and then see if that can handle it. So yeah, for now it's without buttons, but I have the buttons ready so I can put them in if I want to. I have worn this every single day for the past 2 weeks, and I absolutely love it. I think it is such a classic coat, and I am now thinking of making another one because right now I'm obsessed with coats. So yeah, maybe. So yeah, those were my September makes, and I absolutely love them. The only thing that I'm not quite happy about is, as I said, the ginger jeans. I'm going to have to work on the fit on those, which is normal for a pair of jeans. So yeah, I'm going to work on those for my next pair. But every other make from September is going on my list of good makes. And yeah, I am now really interested to hear, have you sewn up any of these patterns before? Do you want to now? You've seen mine. What do you think of my makes? All of these kind of things. I love having the conversation with you in the comment section. Every time you leave me such lovely comments, I get this little like spark of joy inside, and yeah, absolutely love this community that I'm so lucky to be a part of. So yeah, that was it. I will let you go on with your Sunday now, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.